Now it is time to discuss one of the most important topic in this chapter, colligative properties. Colligative properties. Colligative properties are those properties which depends only upon the number of solute particles in a solution irrespective of their nature. It means it depends on the number. So colligative properties are those which depends only upon number of moles, number of molecules, anything, number. There are four properties which are to be discussed in this chapter. Number one, relative lowering in vapor pressure. Number two, elevation in boiling point. Elevation in boiling point. Number three, depression in freezing point. And number four, osmotic pressure. These four properties are to be discussed and elaborated in this chapter. Let us start with the first one, relative lowering in vapor pressure. Number one, relative lowering in vapor pressure. When a non-volatile solute is added in a volatile solvent, the vapor pressure of the solution becomes less than the vapor pressure of pure solvent. That we already know, as because the number of the solute particles occupy the spaces at the surface, and the number of molecules of the solvent becomes less because of the presence of the solute particles. This is the reason, we know that. If P naught be the vapor pressure of pure liquid, pure solvent, and P be the vapor pressure of solvent in solution, then P naught minus P will be the change in vapor pressure. Obviously, if this is the vapor pressure of pure solvent and this one is the vapor pressure of the solvent in solution, and we know that P naught is always greater than P, then P naught minus P is the decrease in vapor pressure or lowering in vapor pressure. Now what is relative lowering in vapor pressure? Relative lowering in vapor pressure is the ratio of the decrease in vapor pressure and the vapor pressure of pure liquid This becomes what? If this is delta P and this one is P naught, then this ratio is known as relative lowering in vapor pressure. Again, there is one more thing to tell you, that chi A plus chi B is equal to 1, we know that. And from here we get chi B equal to 1 minus chi A. And from Raoult's law, we get what? PA equal to PA naught into chi A. Okay, and here from here we get what? PA by PA naught is equal to chi A. Understood now? Good. Now from here we get 1 minus PA by PA naught will be equal to 1 minus X. Actually I am subtracting both the sides from 1. Okay, from here if we just operate it by LCM method, then we get what? PA naught minus PA by PA naught is equal to 1 minus XA, that is XB or chi B. And this term is what? This term is relative lowering in vapor pressure. This is what? Delta P by PA naught, which is equal to what? Chi B. And chi B is equal to what? We know that NB by Na plus Nb, where B is the number of moles of the solute and Na is the number of moles of the solvent. As it is a very dilute solution, then NB is much less than NA. So from here we can conclude that chi B is equal to NB by NA. Why? Because NB is very less than that of NA. Is that clear, everyone? I hope so. What we have got? A chi B is equal to what? NB by NA. And NB is equal to, NB is what? Number of moles of B. Number of moles of B we have learnt in junior classes. The number of moles equal to given mass by molar mass. It means given mass WB by MB, and NA will be equal to WA by MA, and which will be equal to what? WB into MA divided by WA into MB, and this is the final form of lowering in vapor pressure. Now number 2, elevation in boiling point. Elevation in boiling point. Boiling point of a liquid is the temperature at which its vapor pressure becomes equal to the atmospheric pressure. As the vapor pressure of a solution containing a non-volatile solute is lower than that of the pure solvent, its boiling point will be higher than that of the pure solvent, as shown in the figure. This is the figure. Pressure, vapor pressure and temperature. Vapor pressure, this is the marking of 1 atm. This is the marking of 1 atm. And this is the curve for the vapor pressure of a solvent, and this is the curve of the vapor pressure of the solution. Is that clear? See where the curve for solvent is touching the marking. It is here. And where is the solution curve touching? Then this difference is known as lowering in boiling point. Elevation in boiling point. Delta TB. Delta TB. This difference is delta TB. This is the boiling point of pure liquid, and this is the boiling point of the solution. No not is there. TB, and this is delta TB naught. So delta TB will be equal to what? TB naught minus TB. It will be delta TB will be equal to TB minus TB naught. As it is elevated, the TB must be greater than TB naught. Now the elevation of boiling point, actually the elevation of in boiling point is directly proportional to its molality. Directly proportional to its what? Molality. And we have to bring a proportionality constant Kb to convert it into an equation, Kb into m. Now Kb into what we have got? WB into 1000 divided by MB into WA. What is it? M. We are replacing M with the whole value. We have learned that molality is equal to WB into 1000 by MB into WA in the first chapter of class 11. So delta TB becomes equal to what? Delta TB becomes equal to Kb into WB into 1000 by MB into WA, where WB is the weight of the solute, WA is the weight of the solvent, Kb is the molar elevation constant or ebullioscopic constant, and Mb is the molecular weight of solute. Is that clear? Now Mb, then Mb will be equal to what? Mb will be equal to Kb into Wb into 1000 divided by delta Tb into Wa. This is the final form of this derivation, elevation in boiling point. Now let us come to the third point, which is depression in freezing point. Depression, whenever a solute, a non-volatile solute is added to a solvent, boiling point increases and freezing point decreases. In that case, we get a similar curve like we have got in the case of boiling point elevation. What is the difference? There is a difference. There must be a difference. This is why they are called with different names. If this is vapor pressure and if this is temperature, then we get this kind of curve. Suppose this one. This section is to denote the solid form of the solvent, and this is the liquid form of the solvent, and this curve shows the variation of the solution. Now this difference will be what? This difference is delta Tf. Delta T is the difference of temperature and F for freezing. So delta Tf must be equal to what? Delta T naught F minus Tf. T naught F minus Tf. This is T naught F and this is Tf. As the freezing point is depressed, so delta T naught F must be greater than Tf. Is it clear? As per the law, delta Tf must be proportional to molality also, and to convert it into an equation we have to introduce what? A constant Kf, and Kf is known as cryoscopic constant or molar depression constant. Is that clear? Now Kf, now I am replacing again M with the whole value. The value is Wb into 1000 divided by Wa into Mb, and from here we get what? Mb equal to delta Tf into Kf into delta Tf into Kf into Wb into 1000 divided by delta Tf into Wa. Is that clear? This is the final form of the equation or the term. Let us come to our next point, osmotic pressure. Osmotic pressure. What is osmosis? It is the phenomenon of spontaneous flow of the solvent molecules through a semi-permeable membrane from pure solvent to solution, or from a dilute solution to concentrated solution. It was first observed by Abbe-Nollet. Some neutral semi-permeable membranes are animal bladder, cell membrane, etc. Beg your pardon, it is not neutral semi-permeable membranes, it is natural semi-permeable membranes. And an example of artificial semi-permeable membrane is copper ferrocyanide, Cu2 FeCN6, Cu2 FeCN6. This is an example of artificial semi-permeable membrane. Okay, so osmosis is the process by which solvent molecules flows from the solution of lower density to the solution of higher density. Is it clear? Now copy the whole section. Now osmotic pressure is denoted with pi and it is equal to CRT. No derivation is there in our syllabus. And C is the concentration. It can be replaced by the term NB by V. C is the concentration. It is also known as density, and density is equal to number of moles. Concentration is equal to number of moles divided by volume RT. And NB is also equal to WB by MB. So WB by MB into V into RT will be equal to pi. Is it clear? Now from here we get what? MB is equal to what? WB into RT divided by pi V. Is that clear? And pi is equal to here, from here pi is equal to what? WB by V is equal to what? Sorry, not W, WB by V is equal to D. So density DRT by MB. WB by V equal to D. So DRT by MB. Is that clear? Here the osmotic pressure ends, and two types of osmosis are there. Two types of solutions are there. One is what? Hypertonic solution, and the other one is hypotonic solution. And there must be another one, isotonic solution. The solution is called hypertonic if its osmotic pressure is higher than that of the solution from which it is separated by a semi-permeable membrane. And hypotonic solution is called hypotonic if its osmotic pressure is lower than that of the solution from which it is separated by a semi-permeable. And two solutions are isotonic if they exert the same osmotic pressure. These solutions have same molar concentration. This solution have same molar concentration. Terms you can copy, which is on the screen. Copy this, please. One more term to be discussed. It is reverse osmosis. What is reverse osmosis? When the external pressure applied on the solution is more than osmotic pressure, the solvent flows from the solution to the pure solvent, which is called reverse osmosis. It means in case of reverse osmosis, the solvent particles flow from the solution of higher concentration to the solution of lower concentration by applying pressure only. Is that clear, everyone?